And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bestie in Slot. It's the Egoist Cup time. It's Hunted and Feisty Taquito here with you in the broadcast booth. How you doing? I know we don't get much of an intro. We're jumping right on into the gameplay, and already a goal is scored. My goodness, we don't even get a chance to introduce the format or anything.
Oh man, we're just here to play rematch, dude. That's the only thing that we need to do here is play the game. This is about ball. We're here to play ball, Hunted. I'm sure you've been here before, but clearly you didn't understand the assignment. But I noticed that we have a nice little match going on right now, guys. This is the match to figure out who is eventually going to be the first seed to move forward. And apparently, we've got Milk versus Safa as our team names here. And right now, Milk with a 1-0 lead, and it's going to go to overtime, I'm assuming, right here. Good catch, good save. So we got some type of tension building, at least, Hunted. But yeah, right now, we're dropping right into the middle of a story that we didn't even get to build for anybody.
Yeah, so essentially right now, although it might end right here, what a play from Sainez. So there you go. It was whichever team gets the first two goals of the game move forward into that 5v5 bracket stage, and already the top seeded team coming into this, or the top seeded player who handpicked his team. Actually, I think he was second seed. I think Silas was the second seeded player, handpicked his team for this. Has scored the first two goals within, I don't even know, that was like not even a minute of game time, it felt like. But,
30 seconds.
So it will be Sainez's team there on your screens who will move forward, but they, interestingly, the way that the format works, if you're unfamiliar, now that they've gotten through this 4v4 stage, they get to steal a player from the enemy team, essentially, form a 5v5 team, and now they await the bracket to start, which once we get 16 5v5 teams, the bracket will then start, which we will then cover, obviously, here on broadcast. But for the losing team, for Sebastian's team, they will drop that player, and I guess they can continue to play as a team, or they can disband and create a new team. But they drop all the way back down to the 3v3 stage, and they'll have to go through a 3v3 matchup, get to the 4v4, and then 4v4 back into, again, trying to get into the bracket.
So basically, guys, if you have ever watched or read the manga/anime Blue Log, it's going to work exactly like that. You got to form your team, and you need to make it to the end. It's exactly why they call it the Egoist Cup. This is why it's here. So congratulations to Milk, I do believe, as they are currently trying to pick their next member. I thought I could sneak and see who they picked, but unfortunately no one has actually been chosen. But, Hunted, this is my first time really getting my toes wet here with the comp rematch scene. And I know this is a birthing kind of game. It's on the rise. We're in the open beta right now. What are some things that you like about this? Like, where do you see this game going in a perfect world, in a vacuum, if you will, whatever?
Yeah, so I mean, I think Rematch is one of those games, and I've talked about it on stream, probably on this channel a number of times. But it's a game that has so much momentum behind it in such an early stage in its life cycle that, you know, it seems like such a great opportunity for players who want to play a brand new esport. It's a game that's easily understandable by, I think, anybody. It's a very difficult game at its core as well to get really good at, and I think it just lends itself perfectly to sort of that esports culture and everything like that. And that's one of the main reasons why, you know, I'm so excited to be here and doing these events and things like that, is because I would love to see the game grow moving forward. And once Slow Clap can finally, you know, breathe a sigh of relief once the game is fully launched and everything's sorted out with that, I have a feeling they'll turn their gaze a little bit more towards the esports community, and we'll see where we go from there.
I agree. The little bit I did play from the beta earlier, it's difficult. This game is incredibly difficult. You don't actually get to catch the ball when you want to. You can't exactly block as easily as you want to. It is incredibly hard to possess and then depossess on either side of the pitch. It also is hard to actually shoot. I mean, you have to have incredible aim to put the ball exactly where you want to. I mean, as we just saw, I believe that was Sainez who did score that goal at the very end. He dribbled the ball with headers off the backboard before he finally put the ball in to score the final goal. That's crazy. The amount of actions per minute you got going on there is nuts.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, and I really do enjoy it. And I have a close friend of mine who watches a lot of the streams that I'm on, and they told me that it seems like every time when I'm talking about rematch, at some point I bring up Rocket League, and I'm going to do that again right now because Rocket or rematch gives me a lot of the same feelings that Rocket League did. However many, it's probably been 7-8 years ago now when it first came out, and gives me a lot of those same feelings of not. It's not hard to get into, but it's like addicting to try to improve and get better at.
Yes.
And it's I've put in between broadcasting and playing myself with friends or just by myself, I've put in probably 90 hours into this game up to this point so far. So it's just one of those things that I really enjoy doing, and I hope that everybody here watching the broadcast today is part of the group that's excited for sort of the esports ethos that seems to be forming around the game. We've had a lot of great viewership, a lot of great tournaments and everything like that in the past. Obviously this beta and the previous one. So, we'll watch a lot of rematch tonight. Unfortunately, that first match was probably one of the fastest rematch games you're ever going to see. But I'm excited. I think this event is interesting. I personally, I don't know about you, how much you've played in other esports or whatever, but I love sort of like mixer events or like draft tournaments or things like this. This is to me, this is very unique. I've never played in something that's quite like this, but obviously it takes it takes things from the anime. But I love like draft tournaments and things like that. It's always nice to see players kind of meet each other and form like newer teams and things like that.
One of my favorite events, actually, calling back to Rocket League, was that Gold Rush event that was held with like James Bott and everything. That was a lot of fun to watch. Creators, pros, people coming together to form teams and play each other. May he rest in peace in the scene. Hootie Hoo, my goat, won that tournament, so I was pretty happy to see that. Obviously, he's no longer around, but things like that are a lot of fun. You are right. It is really fun to kind of like put together people who aren't exactly on the same skill level, but have the same passion and the same scene. And so that's what we are getting here. But for now, we got to get ourselves the next match loaded up. I think what we should do, obviously we started the stream, we got to the app for a second, but I think we got to get this figured out real quick, guys. So sorry to send you to a break so soon, but let's cut away for just a little bit so we can get this figured out, and we'll come right back to keep yapping at you.
All right, folks. Hello. Welcome back. We are just about ready to jump into yet another game because these players will not stop joining the lobbies immediately. But This one will be a little bit interesting. So we didn't get a chance to mention it, but there was like a tryouts stage prior to these rivalry matches, and the tryouts are essentially like if you've ever played like pickup games, or something like that, where you get sort of match-made teams. And it was the top 2 seeds in the top 2 seeded players playing against each other to see who made it into the 5v5. But now we are following, I believe, what did we say? Demon was 79th on the seeding list, and Zinc was 60th, and now they've got their 2 teams here battling it out in this 4v4.
They do, and it's nice to see. Obviously, again, we have this overtime goal we're looking for. Right now, time has definitely run out, and with all these matches that are being played, clearly it's going to take a while. And I do believe that the point here is to score in this overtime. You do need 2 goals to progress. So even if you win here, there is another match that has to occur for you to score that second goal. I do believe that's how the rule works. I'm not entirely sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think we're essentially playing unlimited time, so they just do like instant overtime, and there's no stop to the overtime. It's just whoever scores 2 goals first. You're playing 2-2, however long that takes. At least that's my interpretation of the rule. When I read the rule book, that's what it meant to me. As it looks like Zinc here on the attack. Team Zinc is going to be in that pink. And in the white is Team Demon, as Borregaro looking for the pass across. Peter Deity going to reject that. And it's funny because you look at a lot of these names, and I think almost every single one of them in this lobby I've probably talked about at length for maybe an hour on various other broadcasts. So it's nice to see them playing against each other, and again, a bit more of a mixer format, as this one's going to be bounced back all the way back to the line. We'll see what Team Demon can do here.
Good pass back into the corner, but it's going to be... Oh, wait, I thought it was stolen. They're vying for that possession right there. White's going to hold the possession, though. Good shot. What a block. That is one thing that I was trying to tell you before we started. I could not figure out, and that was that jumping block we just saw, that jumping header that was clearly going to be a kick, but a player threw themselves in the way to deny the goal.
Yeah, I think the defenders in this game are going to be one of the most important pieces as the game develops, and this is going to be a quick header on goal there by Vertex. Good save by, I think that's what, Pug Defective?
Yeah.
As we'll see if we can get this back on your screens here in just a moment. But yeah, I mean, pretty good start. A lot slower of a start to this game than the last one, that's for sure.
It is, and again, obviously, nothing's perfect. We're in the beta right now. We're trying to figure it all out. It looks like stream. If I'm behind, I must be behind because I'm trying to also watch the stream as well on live on Twitch. But looking like we do have ourselves still yet a 0-0 scoreline. We're rolling at about 2.5 minutes of overtime, and these guys still have yet to kind of figure out the winning formula here. We've got a lot of passing done from the goalie box of the pink team. Approaching right now from the corner. Good shot off the wall. What a save right there from everybody in white.
Yeah, read well there by Shepard. And I think the netminder for the pink side is Pug Detective, okay? It makes a little bit more sense than Pug Defective was what I thought it was initially. But either way, we'll see how the keepers fare, as nobody's seeded a goal as of yet. Peter Diety's going to play it into the box. It bounces home, and it's going to be Vertex to score it. It's going to be a 1-0 game for Team Demon. A beautiful ball into the box. Played through the defense. You see Borregaro is there, but he just couldn't quite beat out the attack. Well done by Vertex to put them on the board.
That was absolutely amazing. We're looking for that second goal now. Again, like we said, we roll it through overtime. So now this is actually more like the game of football, soccer, where we're just going to roll through extra time. I like that. So truly, it is the first to 2, no matter what the time limit says. What a block right there. You said that was Pug Defender? Is that their name?
I think it's Pug Detective.
Detective. Okay.
Yeah. Pug Detective. We'll see how... Again, the keepers fare. I think we've talked about it at length before, but the keepers are the strongest piece defensively, as Demon played that through the box. Peter Deity was there, but the defense comes up big here for Zinc. And right now, I mean, it's golden goal territory here for Team Demon. If they can find another one, they can put this on the back burner, and they will be through to the 5v5. And I think one of the most interesting parts about this tournament in general is the fact that, as I believe that ball does go in, yes, it does, it's going to be Team Demon who takes the victory. But just to kind of put the cap on the thought there is that now that Team Demon has moved through, right, and they go into this 5v5, they have to take a player from the enemy team. They can't just pick any random player. It has to be a player from the team that they just faced, which I think is actually kind of cool how that sort of works. So you kind of you switch from enemy to friend quite quickly, and then you're playing in a single elimination knockout bracket. You have to get pretty friendly with one another pretty quick.
Now remind me, Pug Detective, were they on the winning team?
No, I believe he was the keeper for the losing side there.
Well, if I'm taking somebody, it's Pug Detective, because brother was locking down the back line. Like, absolutely holding it down back there. This is somebody I would look at also rank number 30 right now on the ladder. So that's a good shout. I mean, we got some other people, probably not as high, might be a little bit higher. I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to really see everyone's names. But again, like, it is crazy that you're mentioning the real situation going on at hand. When these players move forward, you do have to say goodbye to a team that you did push through with the 4v4 round. And they go through, they now link up with the fifth member, and you're facing off against a team with a player like Sinez who can just dribble the ball off your back wall. So you know what you're looking at when it comes to the first seed already, if you were able to catch that match. And you've got to understand the mountain that you're really about to climb here.
Right. Yeah. And I think again, that's kind of the fun, interesting part of how this goes. And it's interesting to also to think about a player who loses in the 4v4 round also sort of goes forward into the next round still, right? Like, if you get picked to be the player stolen. So even if you play a losing effort in a game, if you are like the MVP of your team, you may be selected to come off of your team and into the actual knockout stage. So, it gives a little bit more for the players to play with. And I do know that we're having we're trying to figure some stuff out here on the broadcast. So I think we're going to throw it to a break, give those guys a couple of minutes to try to solve whatever issues we've got. And give us one moment. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. We've got another 4v4 matchup to bring you here on the stream. Looking forward to this one. We don't know the full extent of the rosters as of right now, but I'm sure we'll learn pretty quick as soon as we jump into the game.
We absolutely will. Now, we've been speculating. We see one name, but we're not sure about it, so we're not going to tell you about that name. But we are going to talk about a player named Noir. Noir is currently sitting at 63rd. They've drafted a team, and they will be performing on the stream. The other player's name is Wolf. Don't know where Wolf is actually located on the bracket, but we have dropped down to the pitch, 30 seconds on the clock, to try to see who can get the first of two right here. Mr. Hunted, how'd you feel about that last one while we get this one underway?
I mean, it was a pretty good matchup. Again, in that game, there were a lot of names that I had recognized from previous tournaments and high placings, as that was a quick shot that just went a bit wide. In this one, though, some new names for me. I think I recognize maybe one or two of them, but either way, it's going to be Team Noir in the white. As you can see, Noir streaking across the box there, Ali Manju, with an opportunity to play it into the box. Great save from Wolf, the captain for the team in the blue, as that was a quick shot on goal. We'll see if Wolf can play it up to Ur, as now Ur with a chance, one-on-one with Mars, opts to play it a little bit more patiently and instead gives the ball away. Maybe a chance for a shot there, opted not to take it though.
Oh, and a free pass to the mid. Good pickup over there from Wolf's team. Can't tell. Is that person's name Gara? Do we have Gara in here? Ooh.
I think it's Garo with an O at the end.
Oh, Garo. Okay. Like. Okay. They still remain in possession. Looks like they're trying to play this from the corner. Nope. Good flip back. I like the mix up here, the dribbling. Obviously, you're wasting the clock, so now you're forced to score twice. It's off the back wall. There's a shot and a goal. Oh my Lord, Wolf. They absolutely wore the other team down, and Garo is going to be the one to take the goal.
And you can see it's just a great shot from the top of the box. I believe that was Divine who took that shot. And it's one of those sneaky ones that gives the keeper pause, and you saw Mars jump for it. It just pulls him out of position. The rebound comes right out to Garo, who's able to put that one into the back of the net. Is now Garo going to take over the keeper position for now, as here's Divine off that assist. Going to look for another one out to Wolf. It's Mars to make the save, though. Keep us moving here in this game. Again, if you're just joining us, this 4v4 round, it's the first to two goals. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We're going to be playing infinite overtime until a team scores twice, as right now Team Wolf looking for another one to tack on here.
And the good mix-up right there in the middle as well. They pulled the whole team forward. There is no goalie, but everybody's saving their resources. All the way back, I'm lying. It doesn't matter if you saved your resources or not. You have left your net wide open, and Yo Jake is gonna go ahead and take the gimme.
Yeah, and that's the big risk when it comes to, essentially pulling your netminder. You can get the numbers advantage. You can have a 4-on-4 opportunity, but if you lose possession of the ball and you don't have anyone to challenge, it's just a free goal. I don't know. We'll see if that comes back to haunt Wolf. I mean, they were a team, obviously, with a 1-goal advantage. They were looking pretty good offensively. They had a lot of possession, but, I mean, you give away a free goal. We'll see if it comes back to haunt them.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're pulling up to half field. Maybe just play a little back, try to use your teammates to pass up and move forward. I mean, that is the idea of the game, but we got to play from potentially the corner. That will be blocked away. Noir's team still trying to get that possession. There's a shot. It's off the back wall, but we've got the goalkeeper with the ball in hand. It's time to march forward. Hopefully Noir can figure out a way to get the ball in the opposing net, but this tie game at 1-1, it builds that electricity to the final attempt to shoot and score. Oh my Lord.
And that's what I'm saying. Wolf had the 1-0 lead in this game. They pull their goalie to try to make it a 2-goal, or to win, essentially. And then they give up that free goal, and it comes back to bite them. They end up dropping that next goal. It's Yo Jake who scores both of them, the tying goal and the game winner. And all of a sudden, it just kind of crumbles down there for Team Wolf. So Noir going to move on into the knockout rounds. And as far as I'm aware, at least from the spreadsheet in the back. We're very quickly closing on those top 16 teams. I think we've already got half of them, and we're going to add another one to the list here with Team Noir. So you can't really afford to be playing too many of these 4v4 games and dropping them.
You cannot. Obviously, again, guys, you win the match, you get to steal a member. Me personally, I'm looking at Divine. Divine from the other squad looked pretty good. The shots from the corner were excellent. The attempts at possession were very well. We didn't see a lot from the other members. I didn't catch the name on the stat sheet, but there was somebody else. Put up an assist, had 3 interceptions. They were absolutely beautiful in the midfield. That's somebody else I'd go to look at. But right now, you got to take what you can get, and it's got to go quick. You are in the top 16. So as we file out another match, ladies and gentlemen, closing thoughts here on that one. Haunted, what did you really think? I mean, I know you mentioned it with Wolf, and you touched on the fact that they brought that 4th member up. Is there anything else that you saw that could have been at least a little better, or did Noir just capitalize on the moment?
Yeah, no, I think ultimately they just took advantage of opportunities that they were given, right? I mean, you can't fault them for scoring an empty net, and then all it took was one good play offensively, and that's what they did. And as far as I'm told, through the back end, it looks like Noir is taking Garo into the bracket. So that was the player that they chose to steal. So we'll see how they look in that round of 16 when it comes to the 5v5 knockout round. So, folks, by the way, if you don't really know what the format is, prior to our broadcast, everybody had essentially a ladder system, or like a pickup game system that was ranking all of the players. We call them tryouts. And then they formed their own teams. They had to play 3v3s, beat a team, pick up a member from that team, and now we're casting the 4v4s, or at least as many as we can do. And then those 4v4s, if you win that, you go to a 16-team knockout bracket. Once we hit 16 teams, it's done, it's over, nobody else can qualify. So, as I kind of said, if you drop a 4v4 game, you kind of have to go back to the 3v3 square one, and really, there's not a whole lot of time left to sort of get back in there and win another game. So, and I think, again, the real interesting kicker to the whole thing is that each step of the way, if you win the game, you get to choose an enemy from the enemy team to join your team, which is cool. It adds an extra bit of flavor, in my opinion. But anyway, so I think what we're going to do here, Taquito, as I don't think we have a next match quite yet. I think we'll go ahead and throw it to another quick break, make sure everything's good behind the scenes, and we'll be back here in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome back to the EGOIST Cup. We've got another matchup here set and ready to go. Another 4v4 matchup. Winner of this moves on to that 5v5 knockout stage. It's going to be Purple Haze up against El Angus. And if you are a North American rematch enthusiast, at least in the past couple of betas, I'm sure El Angus is a name that you'll remember. I'm almost certain El Angus will be playing keeper, but I'm willing to be surprised.
Oh, so you got the player down and the position. I like that. Well, El Angus sitting at 34, while their opponent, Purple Haze, sitting at 28. A little bit higher on the MMR list, not by much. but enough to make it noticeable. We kick off right here in this match. It's not just a best of one, but it's first to two, clearly. Plenty of overtime, like we stated several times. But again, right off the kickoff, we break down in the mid. It's a pass off the back wall. No one there to follow. But we hold on to it long enough to make sure we don't own goal. Another thing that I found out earlier because of you, Hunted. Thank you for that little bit of information, and the back end staff adding to it. But they have a chance here. Shot down. That's goal. What?
Great save from El Angus there. Again, not surprised to see him taking the keeper role for his team. As a couple of good chances, one on either side. Eighth going to look for Keiko there, not going to quite find him. Middle finger, haven't heard that player so far, but we'll see how he fares in the keeper's box. Here's a feed into the center, but gets a little bit away from Keiko. As Purple Haze, the captain for his team, it was nearly an own goal that kicked it off, and it's going to be Duke who finds the back of the net first. A nice little passing play, and Duke beats El Angus.
I would almost say that was like slightly bit of a tiki-taka, but like they weren't close enough together for me to really kind of land on that call. But what a beautiful cross from one corner to the other. The kick was wonderful. The goal was amazing. Purple Haze take the lead here in this match, and I guess it's going to set the tone. But as we saw last time, it doesn't matter if you score first. It doesn't matter if you have the lead. A team can capitalize on any moment, so that gameplay has to continue pushing forward at an amazing pace as we see the possession going across the midfield stripe, but they decide to play it back. Maybe they're trying to change up the tempo a little bit, Hunted.
Well, they've got the lead, and if they can take the win here, if that goes through, Duke again with a quick shot. It was going to be El Angus that time that rejects that play. But this has been some really good offense early on here from Team Purple, as right now Purple Haze and company trying to find that last goal to push them into the knockout bracket. Jurassic Giant, nice little challenge. But again, one shot can change the course of this entire game, as we are playing first to two. Purple Haze now trying to lead Duke on, has two players across the box. We'll see what he decides to do. Opts to play it back, but he's got nobody there. It's going to be Eighth who picks up an opportunity. It's going to go one-on-one, but nice recovery there from Duke. Still, though, it bounces out to Keiko, and he scores.
Okay, so my favorite thing so far about watching this, I do love the mental. I do love the fact that we're seeing these players opt to like rush up the field and kite their opponents towards the mid just to play it back and shoot and score. We've seen that so many times so far in both these matches, but specifically this one with Purple Haze and El Angus breaking down each other's defenses to try to actually really reel in that opportunity. This could be a goal scoring chance, but El Angus locking down right outside that penalty box.
Yeah, one captain denying the chance of the other, as that falls all the way down to middle finger. It's going to be Duke now, the goal scorer here for Purple Haze, but instead taken away by Keiko, looking for Eighth, just on the money, but he plays it right into middle finger that time. So we'll stay 1-1. Again, overtime doesn't matter the length. We will play until two goals have been scored by the same side. So this could very well be a long game, but with how the offenses have found success so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another goal soon.
Yeah, no, we're going to see it happen. These guys out of the corner are absolutely amazing. It almost makes me think that El Angus's team is just weak from the side. And again, I could be wrong right now. I'm just kind of reading the situation at hand. That ball played to the corner here. Going to need a bit of possession. I like the pass mid, but hey, you've got to find a teammate there. You can't just pass it into empty space. This gives El Angus's team a chance to march down the pitch. A lob shot, but middle finger will absolutely throw one up and say, keep trying again.
Yeah, that was a great save there from middle finger Eighth. I think Eighth had a little bit more space than they may have thought. That was a little bit dangerous there from Jurassic Giant, but El Angus certainly up to the task this time. And yeah, it's going to come down to the keepers. Which keeper has the better performance here, makes the big saves when needed, as this is a long bomb there from El Angus down to middle finger, and Purple Haze will try to set up some offense here as we play about 4 minutes in this game.
Oh! I thought it went in. I saw the goal change, and I thought he didn't snag it, but it's safe from the post. I like the crosses again that we are seeing. This could be a shot. It is the diving save. No one can pull one in. Open net, ladies and gentlemen. Capitalize on your absolute free chances. We still continue to roll through this game.
Man, what a fantastic play. Middlefinger jumping a bit too early, ends up having to scramble to recover. Now, and he can't get back in time. It's going to be Duke, the goal scorer earlier on, gets the one to end the game. And after a brilliant chance on one end, they come back the other way. Purple Haze to Duke, and it's game over.
And now, you said one of those players was Mako, right? Or was that their name?
Keiko, yeah.
Keiko.
Yeah, I think it's Keiko.
I'm taking Kiko. I'm just saying. I'm taking Kiko from that one. Good job on Purple Haze's squad to lock down. I mean, shout out to Duke. Duke, just insane on the pitch. This is tough. I mean, again, like we said, it's you get to steal a player. So now, unfortunately, the team goes back down to 3, goes back through the gauntlet yet again. We have continued to fill this out. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams left to fill out the top 16. As we know, it is awful. It is the trenches down there in the 3v3s right now.
Yeah, and I think with that, I think that team that we just watched is going to fill one of those 5 spots as well. So it's even less spots now. And I have a feeling there are going to be some really good players that are left out of the knockout stage that just can't seem to break through with their created teams. And I think that's part of the fun, at least for me, to see these teams and players try to come together in such a quick order. But that was a pretty fantastic game. Again, both offenses were able to find some cohesion with one another. Unfortunately, though, it was Al Angus's team. For yes. Al Angus, unfortunately, I mean, I can't ask for a better opportunity to end the game, and it just couldn't be put home. They had such a great chance, but that's kind of how rematch goes, man. Sometimes those desperation saves just come out of nowhere, and that's exactly what we just saw.
Yeah, and it breaks down. That's where we see a lot of these plays break down as the goalie dives just a little bit too early, gets baited into that option. And I don't think El Angus got baited per se. I think El Angus was just too late on the challenge. When that ball went up, he was already mid-dive. There was no way he was going to make it back in time. So, unfortunate as we see the circumstances are, El Angus, you got to keep trying. But hey, get back to the top. I want to see your team again. But with that being said, I do think that we're going to go one more break, guys. We're going to fill out the rest of this bracket. Please do not go anywhere. This rematch action is amazing.
All right, folks, here we go. We've got another matchup here for you for this 4v4 stage of the Egoist Cup. It's Hunted and Feisty Taquito here with you, and we are underway with this matchup. It's Team Nate versus Team Awakened Titan, as looks like Team Nate is going to be in... Actually, wait. No, well, I see Nate in the purple, so I think our score bug is backwards. But ultimately, that's okay, as Nate right now is looking for a quick shot and will score. Beautiful shot from Nate. The captain takes the lead for his squad, and this might be a quick one here.
We might see a quick one. Also, I mean, let's just kind of point out the fact that Awakened Titan is not on our little leaderboard. So that could be a leading factor into this game, but Awakened Titan's team able to try to do something here. Maybe draw. This is exactly what I like to see. Draw that clock down. Remove yourself the stress of having to know that you're waiting on something. You now have infinite amount of time to play for. You just got to see if you can put this goal in.
Doctor out there, a player that has had success in recent tournaments in the beta. We'll see if he can help lead his squad to a win here, as this looks to be a shot towards the back wall. Going to be a bit too far for Awakened Titan to gather, and now Larry from the keeper position will chip that on back to Athos. And one thing we didn't mention before, when the teams steal players, they get their choice between the top 2 point scoring players from the enemy team. So it's not anybody from the enemy team, but the top 2 players who scored the most points. So, I mean, it behooves you to play well in these games, and even if you're on the losing side, you may still get picked up, as that's going to be a bouncer right out in front. Good save from Larry.
I like the fact that we're seeing a lot of strong shots, and we haven't caught a lot of like the Magnus effect in this game, the curving of the ball. But we have seen some pretty strong shots. It's going to be off the back wall. That one will be deflected away. Good idea there from Titans team. They're breaking down and slowly playing this. That could be from the corner. Oh, and it's a huge cross that misses that open net opportunity.
Wow, what a save. That almost looked like that was across the line. But Yelra able to take the ball away, and now Nate might even have another opportunity getting a bit body blocked there. That was a good defensive play by Aviv. As now this is Papa Juno with the play. Dr. trying to find the challenge. Instead it's going to be Papa Juno with some space, looking for the chip to awaken Titan. It'll be turned around there by the enemy team captain and Nate, and Dr. going to try to turn this into attack for himself. Good block there from Papa Juno. From offense to defense, making some good plays for his side, but still need to find a goal if you're Team Titan.
You definitely do, and I like the fact that Nate's team is playing a lot of the possession here. They are trying to draw out their enemy. They're doing the best that they can to play from the wide positions. As we can see, breaking up the 4v4 method is what you want to go for, because you can draw everybody towards that penalty box, but the moment that everyone starts jumping and moving around, you just open yourselves to an open net opportunity. Kind of what we saw. Good rainbow flicks to produce or to move the ball forward here out of the corner. Gonna be off the wall. Shot is good, but it's deflected even better. Team Nate going strong on that defensive side.
Here comes Nate, 1-on-1. That ball is considerably missed wide. It's gonna be Dr. trying to find some space. He's got 3 players to contend with. They'll eventually find the pass back to the keeper. And Yelrak, got to be careful with that timer, as now here comes Nate. Has possession, has 2 players in the box. What's he going to do? Here's the back wall play. Athos is there, plays it up and over the goal, but it's going to be Papa Juno to clear. So we will continue on. There's 2 slots in the bracket left. This is the last chance, essentially, for these players to qualify for the top 16. Who's it going to be? Does Dr. have the finisher? Takes the quick shot. The goalie's out of the net, and it's Nate to score the game winner. The captain scores them both, and it's Team Nate heading into the top 16.
Guys, we have 1 more position, and we are in the final bracket. Team Nate has gone through Dr. Athos, Larry, and Nate the Bait, locking down their teams. You got Awakened Titan and Aviv to choose from. So I guess you could take the team captain at this point here and Hunted.
Yeah, we'll see what the
Oh, I'm reading it backwards. I'm silly. I'm reading it backwards.
Oh, I think okay. I got you. Well, either way, we'll see what they decide to do when it comes to taking the player. And it looks like, I believe, with that match, that was the final team to qualify, as the bracket is just updated now. Yeah, there was an additional team at the bottom, or the second to last position, that just got added. So I think, but I don't know for sure. We'll get confirmation from the admins, but I believe that we are done with the rivalry stage. We're going to head into that knockout stage. There's a little bit more rules, or a little bit different rules, I should say, for the knockout stage as well, with how that's going to go. And we can kind of talk about that a little bit. I guess the first thing we should talk about, and I think an interesting thing, is that the first 7 teams who qualified through the top side of the bracket get to pick their opponents for the round of 16.
They absolutely do, and a good thing on them to actually win through all the way. So that means, unfortunately, guys, if you're going to play against Sinez, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's going to be a tough player to play against, but we've got them all locked in. Like we said, we saw the final team get locked in right there just before our match finished. And I mean, again, you get rewarded. These 7 teams that made it through are rewarded. They get to choose their opponents, and I guess it's going to be 1 through 7 in order who do choose the opponents they want to play. But if it were me, I mean, obviously I'm going to knock down the easiest competition first. But if y'all were here at the very beginning of the stream, that match lasted all of 22 seconds. So Sainez's team is going to be incredibly hard to beat.
Yeah, I think they obviously come in as the first seed, and for good reason, and we'll see what they do. And we'll go ahead and preface it just in case on the other side of this break we don't have enough time to sort of talk about the match. So the rules change as far as the matchups are concerned for the round of 16. So the round of 16 quarterfinals and semifinals are all 10-minute long matches. If you will lead by 2 at any point in the game, your team automatically wins. So if you are up 3-1, you win, 2-0, whatever. But if it goes all 10 minutes, no team has that 2-goal lead. It goes to overtime, and whichever team scores first in overtime wins. So you don't have to win by 2 if you score in overtime. But if you don't want to take that long, you score those 2 goals before the enemy team does. That is sort of how that works. And then the final is a little bit different, and we'll break that down when we get there. But I believe we are set on the bracket. I think there's going to be some stuff happening behind the scenes to make sure they get everything sorted out for the round of 16. So we're going to take a break. When we return, we'll go over the bracket with you. We'll go over the rules one more time, and then we'll get into the knockout stage. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
えきらんない思い抱えてなんとなく過ごした日々説明のつかない感情難しい言葉などいらないと気づいたんだ茜に染まった過去と今を癒す手段は修練の炎と心の友魂を燃やせ尽きない命と共に奴を道連れに最高のショータイムこの世の終わりが不死の呪いどちらかが勝利を収めるこの炎は消えない大嫌いだった月も人も少しは許せたから恨むことにも飽きたしたださまようだけの抜け殻には興味がないの不自然に揺れる森の先へ突き立てた指豪華に抱かれる準備はいい魂を燃やせ生きてる証を探そう私一人では見つけられない永遠の苦しみも切なの安らぎとなれ胸を焦がすこの炎は消えない魂を燃やせ尽きない命と共に二人ならきっと分かり合える聖なる裁きか気まぐれな戯れかはどうでもいいや魂を燃やせ尽きない命と共に退屈しのぎに最高のショータイムこの世の終わりが不死の呪いどちらかが勝利を収める
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Bestie in Slot. It is time for the EGOIST Cup knockout stage. Thank you all for sticking with us while we got all of the teams sorted out and they've all decided the matchups. And we are going to jump into a game between the captains of Yuki and Zusi. So I think it's the 6th seeded team versus, I believe, the 14th seeded team. So either way, whatever seeds they come into this one, it should be a pretty exciting matchup, I think.
I would say so. I mean, we were discussing it here while we were waiting on the final draft to be done, and we were just like, man, we don't want to see a blowout. We want to see one more good game, at least before we start getting into the nitty-gritty matches. And this is going to be as middle of the pack as you could probably get it right now. 6th seed, choosing a little bit lower on the ladder, but I mean, hey, you got to choose an opponent you think you can beat. And right now, with the higher seed, you got an opponent in your hands that you think you can handle very well. So I don't know what we're going to see when it comes to this, because we do know that one of the players on Team O, I believe, is going to probably have some ping issues rolling through this match.
Well, I mean, they knew coming into it that we were playing on NA servers, so that's on them for opting to play. And of course, best of luck to the rest of to the entire lobby, as we are just about set and ready to go. So we can go over the rosters real quick for Team Yuki. Obviously, it is the captain Yuki, FT, Eclipse, Yoru, and the guy that gets. Some names there that I'm sure folks watching here will certainly recognize. And then on Team O, it is Captain Zusi, Immaculator, Dax, 7, Ghost Electricity, and Entry. Again, teams or names that have been in and around the top level of the North American scene, as well as sprinkled throughout both rosters. But it should be an exciting matchup. We should probably go over what the format's going to look like heading into this next matchup.
We absolutely should, guys. So here in this game, up until the grand finals will be different from what we're seeing so far, but this will be a 10-minute match. And we do have a mercy rule in place. The first team to reach a 2-goal lead that is not scoring 2 goals, that is in the lead by 2 goals, will automatically win the match. If you do not happen to reach that 2-goal lead by the time the 10-minute timer is up, you still win if you hold the lead. But if neither team scores at all, when we reach overtime, whoever scores the overtime goal will be decided the winner.
Which is an interesting thought, because if you think about it, what could happen is you could have like a 2-1 lead for a team, right? You go to overtime, and the team who's only scored a goal, if they score that goal in overtime, they win. Even though they've only scored the 2 goals, it still counts as a victory, which is a little interesting. Obviously, we have 10 minutes to play, so if you want to avoid having that overtime loss, you should probably get a 2-goal lead in that 10 minutes. But yeah, a little bit different as far as the rules are concerned. Something we haven't seen in rematch up to this point. I'm curious to see how it goes, but excited, and I think it'll do quite well, as we are again getting set and ready to go. We should have this game on your screens here momentarily.
Hopefully we do. We have another thing update. We're getting some insider information, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 European players on Team O, and one of them, being Immaculator, has decided to let everybody know that they are the strongest goalie in EU. So you gotta watch out on the back line if Immaculator is holding down the fort.
Hey, I mean, he's got a chance to prove his worth at least in this game. Although, who knows what ping will do to that? So I don't know what ping he plays on. I know when I play on European servers from the East Coast here, it's about 100, 150 a lot of the time. So we'll see what he can do. We are underway with this matchup. It's going to be Team Yuki in that red and blue, and in the white, it's Team Zusi, and we are underway again. 10 minutes on the clock. The first team to a 2-goal lead is the victor, and if you lead in overtime at all, whether you go into the overtime with the lead or you score in overtime to break a stalemate, you are the victor as well. So Immaculator having to get tested early on, able to make the save, and we'll see if he can try to quarterback his team to a goal here.
Remember, guys, we are now in that 5v5 range, so the game mode is a bit different. That pass from the backfield, looking to score in the goalie box. Hang on, penalty shot, top cheddar, top corner. Yuki in the red, taking the goal, and it's the guy that gets.
Yeah, nice little move, too, around this defender here. Good, solid play. You see Dax 7 zooming on by there, and that's just top shelf. Smart play there from the guy that gets, and it's going to be 1-0 lead for Team Yuki. And again, I mean, we have 10 minutes on the clock, but you don't need all 10 minutes should you find a 2-goal lead early on. This could very well be a short match if they're able to find another goal here. FT was looking for Eclipse down in the top of the box. It's going to be the guy that gets, making a nice move again. Fire off the back wall. Eclipse rebound. Good save that time. Immaculator saving the tournament for his team. Again, this is the knockout round. Single elimination. You lose here, and you are done for the evening. So Team Zusi a bit on the back foot now. We'll see if they can get some offense going. Again, a big turnover. Got to be careful here. Good play from the defense to keep it out.
The approach down the pitch is very good. Off the back wall, there might be a header, but it's a header from the opposing team. The other way we go, maybe the guy that gets will get the second goal. Yes! Oh my Lord. It is Immaculator holding down that title of the best goalie in EU.
Well, it was a nice save from Immaculator. Good patience there, not taking the bait on the ball over the box. Zusi almost getting around the defense there. The guy that gets will play it back to the safe arms of Yuki, and the captain from his own box looking for a passing play downfield. We'll see what he opts to do here. Just going to buy a little bit of time, look for Eclipse, and we'll connect with him as chip into the top. It's going to be entry to deny entry for Team Yuki. Now FT to Eclipse again. That's going to get redirected, and Immaculator going to gobble that one up. So 7.5 minutes left to go here in this game. Still a 1-goal lead here for Team Yuki.
Oh, I like the shot there. It tests the defense, if you will, but at the same time, you're giving up that opportunity to create an opening for yourself, as we see from Team Yuki here. But, of course, Immaculator is going to hop on that one quickly, pushes up the pitch, but is denied yet again. These return volleys from the side of Team Yuki are absolutely amazing, because it's forcing Zusi squad to have to always pull back, waste those resources that are so necessary in a game like this. That stamina bar, very, very important. A shot on target, and oh my Lord, that's it, Hunted. With 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, Yuki's squad is the first team through the round of 16.
Yeah, this is just a nice move from Eclipse to find some space at the top of the box. Snipes that bottom corner. Immaculator just couldn't quite get there. You can't give all that time and space to some of the top strikers in the region, and that is going to do it for this one. So Team Yuki, the 6th-seeded team, going to move on to those quarterfinals. And unfortunately for Team Zusi, that is it for them today. So again, a little bit different of a format. I think it makes things go a little bit quicker when things are all said and done. And ultimately, I think that this is an interesting, again, the whole experience is quite fun and quite cool. But I love to see, again, I'm a big fan of mixers and draft tournaments and things like that. And it's great to see Team Yuki kind of getting some of that synergy. We saw a lot of great passes between the players. You kind of mentioned those long clears. They weren't just long clears for the sake of long clears. They were, two allied players are putting the ball into a good spot for somebody to make a run or something like that. And that's what you want to see out of a team like that.
So I'm a liar, Hunted. I just decided to check the bracket real quick. Team P was actually the first team through the round of 16, and that's Noble Koenig, Tux, Sir Grizzles, Shoney, and Wolf. They were actually the first team to push through. They took down Team C of Mustradamus, Fuzel, the Armory, Rayos, and Techie. So
a bit of an upset there if you go purely by seeding, but
correct.
I mean, either way, Team P, who I guess would be the 15th seed in the in the bracket there, and moving on, as you said, and they're going to face, actually, funny enough, they're going to face Team Yuki in that quarterfinal. So yeah, we'll keep you guys apprised as things go. I don't know if we're gonna. I'm assuming most of the other round of 16 matches are being played, but maybe we might sneak into a game if we get one.
Absolutely, guys. Well, and when we do, we're probably going to take a quick break here. Unfortunately, I will have to take my departure from the stream. Somebody else will be taking my spot. So that was the last game that I'm going to be on. It has been a lot of fun with you, Hunted. This game is incredibly fun to watch. I cannot wait to learn more about this and more about the players, the scene, everything else. I now have this passion that you have for the game. I am excited to see where it goes. I hope this continues on the upward trajectory that it currently is on. I'm glad to see that there were so many people that were involved in this draft league. I mean, it was 160, right? At the end of it all, it was like 160 players topped out the draft.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know the exact count from Achi, but I think that's pretty close. Yeah, a lot of players, and that's what we wanted to see, right? This is again, it's a beta tournament, and on a Friday night, it's nice to see a bunch of these players come out, but. Yeah, thank you for joining me in the booth throughout the night. I hope you have a good evening. We will be back in just a couple of moments, though, to bring you another matchup. Don't know if it's going to be round of 16 or quarterfinals, but either way, we will bring you another one here in just a little while. Keep it right here on Bestie in Slot. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bestie and Slot. We are into the quarterfinals of the knockout round of the EGOIST Cup. I've got a new partner in the commentary booth with me now. Saya, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Hunted. There's been a lot of Blue Lock gaming happening so far, and these two teams have made it all the way into the top 8. It's Team Demon versus Team Cindy, and I'm sure you're familiar with both names here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might be familiar with every name that we're going to be saying in this matchup. Demon, it's Demon Shepherd. Spreadsheet broke as I was reading the names, unfortunately. So we'll there we go. Demon Shepherd, Pedo Deity, Vertex at 18-bit, and then for Team Cindy, it's Cindy, Seike, Tix, Not Ross, and Nobert, I believe, or Nobert. So we will have to see. Again, it's the team to score or to get the first 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
And you got 10 minutes to do it. If you can't do it in 10 minutes, if you have a lead in overtime, you are the victor, whether it's 1 or 2 goals, whatever. As this is going to be played into the box, kicked away, and it's Team Cindy in that black and yellow, Team Demon in the white.
Yep, Team Cindy with the first attack here, but of course the Team Demon, they're looking very, very solid on the defense, but the possession's being kept very well by Team Cindy. They're crossing it, they're keeping it in the box, and they're putting on a ton of pressure. One last shot by Not Ross, no, blocked away by 18-bit.
Yeah, I like the attempt there from Tix, and might even get another chance. Peter Didi blocks that down for the moment. We'll see who comes away with the ball there. Nice pass to the box. Not Ross just missed it wide. That was a beautiful opportunity, and now Not Ross actually going to get to this ball as well off the rebound. Ends up back passing, but Demon in the way. And now a quick counterattack has Pedo Deity with him. Time and space for Demon. What can he do with it? Nice pass to Vertex. Great save from Cindy. So the captains collide, and nobody walks away the better as of yet. We've played just about 2 minutes in this game. Still no score.
Still nothing so far. A lot of aggression from Vertex here. Seike trying to defend, but Vertex keeps the ball under control, fakes them out. Demon with the cross, but no, it's Cindy who manages to make the save again in the 1v1.
Yeah, good play there from Cindy. Gonna have to be on his game right now. This Demon team is definitely built to attack you quickly. They have a lot of very talented strikers on that roster. Peter Deity having to play a little bit of defense there to clear it away. Out towards Demon. Nice pass to Vertex around Seike, but he couldn't quite get some space. Another quick pass. Instead, it's blocked by the defense and will be cleared away. Still no score, but a couple of good chances for both sides.
Couple of chances, but I think the main thing is, right, Cindy's team, Team E, has gotten a lot more of those passes in the enemy half. And right now, of course, the ball in the hands of Team Demon. Maybe they'll be able to accelerate the offense here with Shepard kicking it forward, taking it forward slowly. Lots of open field to work with here.
Yeah, that's something we've seen Shepard do in full team tournaments as well. He loves to try to carry the ball as near to the enemy side as possible and try to find some space for his teammates. He's going to have to play a little bit of defense now as Seike actually tries a back pass again. I don't know if that was a bit of an errant pass. It's going to give Vertex some space here, but he can't get by the defense there of Nobert. So keep it 0-0. Both teams a little bit shaky on the passing, but no strikes as of yet.
Not just yet. There's a big pass coming through, the back pass all the way across the TI. Looking for a header here. Gets one bounce to the top of the goal. Second one into the net, and Team Cindy strikes first 6 minutes and 35 seconds in.
That's just dirty from Not Ross. Hopefully we'll get to see it again. We'll get at least a little bit of it. The initial header and the wherewithal to make sure that he's there for the second one. Really well done. Pulling the keeper out of position. And now all of a sudden, Team Demon, the incoming 4th seed here, has a little bit of work to do to try to keep their spot in this tournament. Team Cindy, of course, the 5th seed, so a battle certainly that should be relatively even. We'll see if Team Cindy can try to find this second goal before Demon has a chance to respond.
And this format, it just goes from 0 to 100 so quickly, right? When it's 0-0,
Right.
when the game is tied, there's no danger. But as soon as one team gets that 1-0 lead, you have to be scared, especially if you're Team Demon. Now, passing plays coming in, barely missed, like you mentioned earlier, the passing just a tiny bit off. Right there, interrupted by Seike, but that's a big steal by Demon.
And now Demon has some space to work with, too. Let's see what he opts to go for. It's just a bit too out of reach there for Vertex. It's going to be Pito Deity now, trying to send it into the top of the box. That shot not going to best Cindy. Again, the captain for his side. And I believe, no, Polly Walnuts, I guess, is the captain for his team. I was going to say the highest seeded keeper of the tournament, but of course, Polly Walnuts sitting in seed number 1. So Cindy will have to settle for the second highest seeded keeper. But ultimately, an opportunity to move on to those semifinals should his team find another strike. We'll see what Seike can do with a bit of time of possession here. Nice pass. Not Ross was looking for another one. He's going to be sniffing around that goal all game long. And we're down into the final half of this game. Pito Deity now with a bit of room. Takes a quick shot, and Cindy's up to the task again.
Time is, I wouldn't quite say running out. There's still a good 4 minutes and 40 seconds left, but the pressure is on for Team Demon. Demon himself right here looking for a pass, perhaps looking to make the mix-up right to Vertex, but right into the waiting arms of Cindy, who is unstoppable right now.
Yeah, it's going to have to be better shots than that to best Cindy, I think, at this point. And we'll see what they can do. They're going to get another opportunity here. It's going to be captain on captain. Nobert's there to attempts to help, but it's not going to matter. Demon pulls Cindy out of position, and we've got a tie game. So now things change a little bit more here, Saya, because since we are tied and there are 4 minutes left, should no team score, it's going to require overtime, and whoever scores in that time will be the winner. But if we do head to overtime, even if there is a one-goal lead, as Not Ross AFK checks them and it works out. You don't see that too often.
Incredibly rare, especially in the later stages of a tournament, but Not Ross dares to dream, just fires it from the midfield and gets it done, and suddenly Team Cindy back in the same spot as before.
Not Ross, not wanting to exit this tournament in the quarterfinals. And we're back to the same position we are again. If the black and gold are able to score another goal, we'll end our game right here, right now. Demon looking to tie things up again. Pito Deity will respond, and we're back level again.
What another goal right here by Pito Deity. It is a tied game, and as the clock ticks down, it is getting even closer. And now we're really in the range of the next goal could win it here.
And it most certainly could. They're going to try it again. Didn't work out this time. I don't think that shot was even on goal. I think it was just a bit wide. Pito Deity will say thank you very much, and we'll try to find some space for his team here. Shepard now, the main keeper for his side. And we'll see what they decide to go with on offense. They've bested Cindy twice. And with 3.5 minutes left to go, pass out to Vertex. I believe that was blocked down by Nobert, as now Seike missing the block there. Demon takes a quick shot, but Cindy up to the task.
Well played by Cindy here. Once again, very, very solid on the defense despite 2 goals being scored. Trying to fire it forward, but right into the waiting arms of Vertex. The Demon, no, just a shot into the net. And now it is Team Demon that are the ones who are ahead here. And Cindy under a lot of pressure.
Just a mental mistake there. You see the defender, you're pulled out of position. I think at that point, you'd rather just bomb it downfield. At least you won't concede. You'll concede the possession, but you won't concede the point. As you're going to try it again, it's Demon on the line, having to make the save. And I mean, it worked once, but at this point, you're just giving away possession, because now here comes Pito Deity. Opportunity, going to be blocked down there by Seike, as that one's going to be played across for Not Ross. Back and forth they go, but we're running out of time here. 2:45 left to go in this game. A goal for Team Demon will end it.
All it takes is one goal. All it takes is stalling out 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. And the possession is looking difficult for Team Cindy. They have not quite connected on the passes here. Looking for one now, but right into the waiting arms of Shepard. A great save at the top of the net. But that one is interrupted by the other team. Team Cindy on the attack once again.
And they'll score. It's not Ross once more. It's a hat trick for him. I believe the pass was from TI that time. And not Ross makes us a level at 3. Just under 2 minutes left to go. Another beautiful play. Just over 2 minutes left to go, I should say. It felt like a little bit more time had expired, but we've already scored 6 goals in this game. Will there be a golden goal? Or will we require overtime? I think that's the big question. Demon more than happy to try to slow things down a little bit, let his teammates find some space, but the defense doing a good job covering that area. Going to be into the box, and Cindy comes up with the ball in the crowd. So a minute 50 left to go. Another turnover by Cindy. Has to make a big save. Got to be careful with these passes.
Yeah, it's going to the enemy team more often than not here. TI across, not Ross in there, and manages to get it past. That's Team Cindy back on top. What a shootout.
And I don't know. I'm going to have to see this again. Hopefully we get a decent angle of it. It looks like Shepard's in possession. He sees the ball coming across, but unfortunately it squirts through, and it's going to be a 4-3 game now as these teams continue to just trade blows, as you said, an absolute shootout with a minute 30 left.
Big pass forward, trying to get it to Peter Deity. Unsuccessful here, but recovered by Vertex. The pressure is on. Minute 20 now for Team Demon to make it happen, but the ball is being interrupted in the midfield. Passed away. Not Ross with possession, but wait a second. Maybe a chance here for Team Demon.
Well, let's see what 18-Bit's got. Going to send it down into the corner. Peter Deity's going to be the first one there. Pass out in front. Demon had the shot, but again, not the greatest of shots there. Cindy will take possession. Almost gets challenged. That was a bit close. He ends up turning it over. It's going to be back to Demon one-on-one. Up and over. Cindy up to the task this time. Not going to get baited out the same way he did the last time the two captains met. As time is going to continue to tick by. 40 seconds left to go. Demon needs a goal.
They need a goal, but Team Cindy, a goal here would well and truly end this game. But with 30 seconds remaining, I think Shepard's feeling the pressure, trying to push up forward, trying to give the team a big shot here, and maybe a booming shot into net from this distance.
Well, here it comes into the box. It's going to be over the head of Demon. Seike gets a touch on it, but he's not going to be able to find it clear. It's going to be Pito Deity from the corner. Awkward ball against the back wall into the hands of Cindy, and he's going to buy as much time as possible. Needs to be careful he doesn't drop it. Ends up playing it out towards Nobert here, who will play it up, and if Seike can get there first, that's going to be game. He plays it across the way, and that will do it. It is Team Cindy. After a dramatic back-and-forth game, they walk away with the 4-3 win, and will move on to those semifinals.
Wow, that was quite the game. That was quite the scoring total put up by both teams, but when it mattered most near the end, I think Cindy just locked in, right? Just shut down Demon's final opportunities.
Well, it's nice because, you know, we saw growth from Cindy in that, right? You saw Demon score on that exact play probably 5 minutes earlier, and then, you know, the mind games come out. Demon says if it worked once, might as well try it again. But that the second time when it really mattered, Cindy came up with a big save. So congrats to him, and congrats to Team Cindy for knocking off the 4th-seeded Team Demon. I don't think they have their opponents quite yet. I know that Team A, or Polly Walnuts' team, has made it to the quarterfinals, but I don't think they have played their match yet. So we're just waiting on that for now.
Yeah, we're going to have a short break before the semifinals. We're going to have Team G versus Team P. That's Kai PG versus Noble Coin. We'll see how that goes for who makes it to the final. But until then, we'll be right back.
許せたかな恨むことにも飽きたしたださまようだけの抜け殻には興味がないの不自然に揺れる森の先へ突き立てた指甲賀に抱かれる準備はいい魂を燃やせ生きてる証を探そう私一人では見つけられない永遠の苦しみも切なの安らぎとなれ胸を溶かすこの炎を消えない魂を燃やせ尽きない命と共に二人ならきっと分かり合える聖なる裁きか気まぐれな戯れかはどうでもいいや魂を燃やせ尽きない命と共に退屈しのぎに最高のショータイムこの世の終わりが不死の呪いどちらかが勝利を収めるこの炎を消せない
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. We've got a semifinal here, just about ready to go for you on this broadcast. It is the EGOIST Cup presented here by Bestie and Slot. Thank you guys for joining us, by the way. Hunted and Saya here to bring you the rest of the action for the evening. If you haven't yet, please follow the channel. We are doing, Bestie and Slot's already hosted multiple tournaments throughout the betas. Obviously, tonight's the last night, at least for North America, and I'm sure I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I would not be surprised if Bestie and Slot has more rematch action when the game comes out. So make sure you're following the channel here. But we have a semifinal to get into this time. It's Team G, which we're trying to determine who the captain of that team is. I think it's Cross. It might be Kai. Don't know. One of the two. We'll figure it out. And then for the other side, Team P, who took down Yuki's team that we watched not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, very well played so far to make it into the Final Four, but this tournament is a winner's take all. You do want to be this team standing at the end of it all, and these two will be fighting for the chance to stand in the final here. I'm pretty interested in Kai PG's team, of course. Not the Kai we know, but still a Kai nonetheless.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of Kais in here that are not the Kai that I think we know, which is kind of interesting, and we'll see how this one plays out as we are immediately into the action. Shoni has to make a save for the pink and gold, or for the pink and purple, rather, and then Kai on the red and blue side as Mako on controller. Going to challenge Sir Grizzles there. Wolf with possession, playing it over towards Shoni, as Mako going to walk away with that ball. So, again, we play to the first team to a 2-goal lead. 10 minutes on the clock. And we were talking about it during the break a little bit. That 10-minute, oh boy, that was scary. But the 10-minute game that we just played did feel kind of nice. I mean, even though we could have ended any time, it was a decent time for a game.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty close all the way. Ooh, good save by Jay in the corner there, punching the ball away, but the possession is still kept by Team P. Noble Coin and company keeping the ball contained very well right now. Lets it go for a little bit though, and Mako on controller getting past and forcing two defenders all the way back here, and still has possession. What a play! Finally gets stopped, but almost had it all.
We're going to see Tux now walking away with possession after a little bit of drama, as Noble Koenig's team looking to find some purchase in the offensive zone here. Jay having to deflect that one away. Wolf's going to take the follow-up shot, and ultimately able to make the save. Whoa, Mako. Surprised as I was to see that slide tackle didn't connect with the ball. Mako going to play it over to Kai. Let's see what Kai can do. Captain of this team. Play it to the box. Good rejection there by Shoni, as the ball will be played all the way back. What is that? Is that just an... oh, it's a cross. Okay, so that's cross. Okay. I couldn't tell if it was a cross or an arrow. But we'll see what Cross can do here. Sir Grizzle's going to walk away with this one, and maybe an offensive opportunity here.
Jay has been perfect in the net, though, not letting any of these balls pass by. And I think one thing they're doing more than other goalies, right, is using that punch, just punching the ball away. They didn't use it that time, but definitely a defining characteristic. All the way over, an attempt by Kai PG's team, but not quite this time, and Jay will maintain the ball.
And now Cross looking to find some time and space. Nice move around the slide tackle from Shoni. Tries to chip it onward to Kai, but Sir Grizzles will get there to turn that one away. Talks out to Shoni. Back to Sir Grizzles. Play into the box. Too far. Jay not able to find the possession and might get punished for it. That careened off the post. I don't know if that was maybe an artifact on our end or what, but that ball had some speed across the box, as now it's going to be Dom trying to find a little bit of room. Instead, it's going to be two players from the defense there surrounding him, and Tux will wind up with possession. So we played 4.5 minutes here in this game, and still we have no score.
Yeah, still not too many shots on goal either, right? Most of these attempts are being stopped right past the midfield. Good defenders on both teams so far, it feels like. Right now, maybe an opportunity for Noble Coin, but overshooting just a tiny bit. And Cross with the fancy footwork, fancy dribbles, gets around Wolf, and sends the ball forward here. The question is, can they find a passing play to finally put pressure on Tux?
Well, Cross running out of stamina there. Defers to Dom. It's going to be turned away at the top. Trickling down all the way to Jay, who plays it on over to Kai. Let's see what he can do. Gonna try to send this one for Dom. Sir Grizzles. Both players not wanting to make the first move in the corner. Dom and Sir Grizzle still arguing. It'll be Dom who walks away, trying to find a little bit of a fancy move there, but Sir Grizzle's up to the task. Plays it on upward to the captain, Noble Koenig across the way. It's going to be Wolf now. Has Shoney streaking towards the box. Going to look for him here. Finds the header and finds the goal. A beautifully set up play, and Shoney's on the board.
Just setting up perfectly. Had the opportunity, had the 1v1 here, and just got it past Jay with the rebound. Well played, but there's still 5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, still plenty of time for Kai as we see another AFK check. Didn't work out this time. Jay's going to collect the ball to try to find some space for his team. It's a bit of an errant pass. Yeah, Kai will take the safe option and reset. Play it back to Jay. So you have Mako trying to find some space. Wolf shadowing him. Cross now with a chance into the box. There's Mako. Tucks, though, up to the task. And we will keep playing. 1-0 in favor of the pink and purple. We've got 4.5 left to go. And Team Kai still needing a goal.
But Team P not going to give up the pressure at all, right? They're still... Oh, wait a second. A big interruption here, but kicked away. Well played by Team P to get it out of their half as soon as possible. And Shoney with an opportunity, maybe, but Cross gets the stun. Make sure that that play dies in the corner. But they're trying again here. And the ball in the hands of Sir Grizzlies. Good save by Jay. But Team G, they haven't really... gotten those passes forward. They haven't really been able to get those offensive possessions.
No, but they've been playing some decent defense. That was a little bit of miscommunication there between Cross and Jay, and now Mako turning the ball over. Wolf trying to find some space. He just hangs onto it for a bit too long, and it'll be now Dom to take it out of the zone. Nice move around Wolf, gets by him again, gets by the captain as well, and now Dom still with possession, but that shot gets blocked down. That was nearly a highlight reel individual effort, but it ultimately falls to the waiting arms of Tux, who finds Wolf. Quick shot on. Tester for Jay, but he's up to it. And we are into the final 3.5 minutes of this matchup. Again, a goal for Team Noble Koenig will end things out. But Kai needing a goal to try to force overtime if we so get there. Shoney, good slide tackle from the captain.
And gets it forward for now here. Dom looking for a repeat of before. Avoids the first slide tackle. Avoids the second attempt and the third to dislodge the ball right now. Across forward, a big opportunity, but Sir Grizzlies is there on the defense. And now they need to hurry because there's only 2 minutes and 40.
Well, here's Mako. Chance scores! What a move from Mako. Receives the pass perfectly around the defender. Snipes that bottom corner. Let's see it again. As Mako, what a first touch that was. Beating everybody, and it's tied 1-1.
Tied 1-1 as the clock ticks down. The next goal could seal the deal here. And it's all down to how much possession you can get. Jay? It truly was an AFK check as that sudden shot finds its way past, and that's a huge advantage for Team P here.
Maybe he thought it was coming off the back wall. I'm not entirely sure. He just kind of stood there and watched it go over his head. Those are a little awkward. They're going to try it again. Sometimes it looks like you don't have to jump, but in reality you probably should jump for it, and maybe that's just what got the better of Jay that time. So we'll see if Team Kai can put that behind them. Mako was there. That's going to be a long return volley. Instead, it falls to Cross over to Kai. Kai back to Cross. Has Mako at the top of the box. Dom in the area as well. Deflection off of Sir Grizzles. Mako can't come up with the play. It's going to be Wolf to try to send on Shoney. And Kai will turn it back around. 2 minutes left to go. 2-1 score in favor of Team Noble Koenig. Dom trying to change that fact now. Off the back wall, they score. It's Mako again. It's Dom finally getting the pass through, and we're tied at 2.
Wow. What brilliant play by Dom so far in this game. whenever they're in the opposing side of the map, it is brilliant how they're avoiding all of the challenges coming out from Team P. And Team P's had most of the possession, right? But whenever Dom gets the ball, they make it count.
And we'll see what Dom can do now, coming from the keeper position, going to run this one out. Looking for the pass up. Mako's there, looking for the hat trick off the crossbar. An absolute laser beam. Deflecting all the way back out. Here's Dom with a chance, but Tuck's able to make the play. And we've got a 2-2 game here, Saya. Will we have our first overtime on this broadcast? That is the question on everybody's minds right now. If it does go to overtime, just a reminder for those watching at home, the 2-goal rule does no longer apply. It would be whoever breaks the stalemate would be the winner.
Whoever gets the goal here, perhaps, but that's if no goals are scored. The stalemate currently looking quite solid, though, as once again the ball in the hands of the goalkeeper. But the pressure's on. Team P, they are on the attack, looking for a big steal in the enemy net.
That was close. A couple of back and forth passing plays between the keeper and the defense, but ultimately nothing comes of it as Tux will play it from his own goal line. Over to Shoney, now Sir Grizzles. Play it into Shoney, hits the crossbar himself, so both teams have struck the crossbar now. And Shoney almost gets another opportunity, tries to play it back to Wolf. Dom can't quite corral it. It'll squirt back out towards the captain, Noble Koenig, over to the left side. Kai with a big clear. And here we go. It's overtime. Golden goal territory now. The next team to score moves on to the grand finals.
All it takes is one here. Wolf with the fancy footwork, trying not to get the ball stolen too easily. A header forward, but Jay will catch it. And now a big push perhaps for Team Kai PG. Team G looking for any opportunity here. Maybe Dom will be the hero again as Jay finds an opening, sends it forward. Big opportunity, but no, a little bit too far.
And you've got to imagine every ball that comes into the box or challenges the keeper is going to be one to watch, as there it is. It's Shoney. It's the keeper to Shoney. Tux connects with Shoney into the net, and that is going to do it. Kai come up just a little bit short. Jake just couldn't quite get over there to reach that play. And it's going to be Team Noble Koenig into the grand finals. Congratulations to them.
It was close all the way through, but in the end they break away in the final moments. And they were relentless on the attack. They had the majority of offensive possession. Well-deserved win.
Certainly well-deserved. It was quite a lot of fun to watch. You see the hat trick there on the board there for Shoney. And really, really well done to him. I know they will be hyped to play into the grand final. And, of course, as you said, it's winner take all here in this tournament. So an opportunity to turn a little bit of money for your side as well. But ultimately, we do have another semifinal that we are going to get underway in just a moment. I believe the matches have been decided. Yeah, so it's going to be Team A, which is Polly Walnuts, up against Team Cindy, which is Team E. So we are going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere here on Bestie in Slot. The second semifinal of this EGOIST Cup will be on your screens in just a couple of moments. And we are back with the second semifinal here. One of these two teams going to make it into the grand final to play up against Team Noble Koenig, as we've got Polly Walnuts and Cindy doing battle here. And if you take a look at the two teams here, Saya, it's a lot of names that a lot of players, I'm sure, will recognize. Polly Walnuts, Blah, 15, Sinez, and Seabass, or Sebastian. I don't know what he goes by in game. And then Cindy, Seike, Ty, Not Ross, and Nobert in the for the team across the way. We watched Cindy's team play into this semifinal. They looked quite good. It was a bit of a back and forth game. Ultimately ended 4-3. We'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, and you talked about it earlier, but this Team A, this Polly Walnuts team, is looking like a bit of a super team, right? A lot of familiar names, but Cindy's team, no slouch either.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately going to come down again to sort of the keeper play. I kind of mentioned Polly Walnuts in that match when we were watching Cindy, as both players typically play keeper. I don't know what Polly Walnuts is going to be playing. I would imagine he would be playing keeper for his team. So a keeper on keeper battle should be interesting. And we are getting set and ready to go into this matchup. So we'll bring it to you here in just a little while. But this is the final game in this current format. We kind of switch formats up when we head to the grand final for a little bit more of a show. But again, it's the first team to 2 goals is the winner. And should we find overtime, it's whoever leads in overtime ultimately does walk away with the victory. So we are, like say, moments away from getting this match up underway. And what do you think? I mean, what are you thinking coming into this matchup?
I'm thinking that I am so scared of this Team A. This Polly Walnuts team has so many players that have to be feared. But again, it really just comes down to who makes the most of each individual moment. We've seen a lot of solo play in this tournament. Quite fitting for a Blue Lock style tournament, and quite obvious when there's less team synergy involved, right? It's a lot easier to be the star player, making it past the entire enemy team. And the question is there such a star on Team E?
Here's the captain in Cindy. Needs to be careful. Gets rid of that ball. Ty going to try to track this down to the corner right off of him, and it's going to bounce out. Not Ross wants to look for a challenge. Sinez able to find a little bit of purchase, but not much. Ty can't quite control it. Nobert has that rejected as well, and it will eventually be played into space. So the first minute goes by. No score here. Again, 10-minute game. First team to the 2-goal lead is the winner. Blah trying to play it over back towards 15, but it gets away from him there, and Cindy will pick things up from his own box. And it does look like Polly Walnuts taking the keeper role for the side. Not surprised to see that. So the two captains playing one of the most important roles as Polly Walnuts has to make a big play. Not Ross was lurking out in front.
What a brilliant passing play. Not quite enough as Polly Walnuts gets to stop here. Gets to stop again on the cross, but not Ross deflecting. Maybe someone there, but no. It's actually a big scoring opportunity. Just a chip right over the goalie. Perfectly played from Sebastian. MM1000. That name tripped me up, but that was smooth.
And let's watch Cindy. He's trying to wait for this ball to roll into the box, and it's the hesitation that kills him there. Gives the striker the opportunity to chip that one by. And now with a bit of an AFK check, that goes in. As Not Ross will be the benefactor of that, and we're tied at 1.
Blonde the net. Polly Walnuts trying to run back and just not quite aware of the timing to jump, it looks like. A little bit unfortunate, but well done to catch them on the rotation.
It's crazy to me. We could go an entire tournament without seeing one of those ever work, and we've seen 2 of them in back-to-back series now. As that's a chip over. Sinez nearly had a scoring opportunity, and it's going to be Cindy who does eventually take care of business. But yeah, my goodness, a 1-1 score. Sinez now from the side of the box. That one's well wide, and Seike will clear. Ty all alone, left all alone here. Probably Walnuts has to come up with a save, won't be able to do it, and just like that, it's Team Cindy on top.
And that's Team Cindy just one goal away from eliminating this Polywalnut super team from the entire tournament in the top 4 here. But, well, we'll see if that is indeed possible possession in the hands of Team A for now. And we've seen the passing synergy on their side. But if they let go for one moment, if they let Ty make a breakaway with a huge pass, that is where their problems lie.
I need to be cognizant of the defense, especially now. Can't afford to give up another goal or your tournament life is over. And the timer has begun ticking. They need a goal in the next 7 minutes. Still, of course, plenty of time. A minute more than a typical game of rematch. So certainly can put up a goal in that time. But, oh, that's a bit of a giveaway there by Cindy. Fortunately, gets it right back. And now we'll look to carry it upfield. Big long play. No Bert. Over to Ty. It's Polywalnuts there sliding across the box, able to make the save. So still we play on 2-1. Nice little chip pass up to 15, but he's taken care of by 2 defensemen. And Cindy will see it clear. 6:40 left to go here in the game.
Running up the side is not Ross. With a step back, past Sainez, but gets stunned up. And now a big run for Team A, right to 15 in the enemy goal box here. Looking for the shot to tie it back up all the way past the Sainez, dribble off the top side, but Cindy makes the stop, unflinching right now. And that's exactly what Team E needs to make this upset.
And you love to see Cindy playing patient there, not taking any kind of bait touches too seriously. That's a nice pass from not Ross to Ty. But the defense gets in the way, and the shot never makes it to Polywalnut. That's a big clear. Sebas is here, looking for an opportunity. Takes the shot off the back wall. Rebound, scores! And we're knotted up at 2. 5:59 left to go.
No hesitation in going for that, even as the defender was running right at him. Just a calculated bounce off the top of the net. And now suddenly the game feels like it's slipping out of Team Cindy's reach just a tiny bit.
Well, here's the AFK check again, and it goes in again! What is going on?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Just slight miscalculations on the defense right above the goalie. And Team Cindy is capitalizing on every single hesitation.
Well, and I mean, that time it wasn't even like a non-keeper player in goal. That was the main keeper for Polywalnuts. I mean, it was Polywalnuts himself. It was the captain who couldn't come up with the save. And now, big risk here. Has to make a big break, but he's going to get tackled there by Ty. 15 stuck in the keeper position, at least for the moment. Polywalnuts going to see that clear, and they should be able to swap back out. As Nobert's going to play it back to Cindy, and Team Cindy, off the back of 3 goals in this game, a chance to eliminate the top seed. That's a booming shot all the way back down. It falls right into Cindy. We are approaching halftime in this game. 5 minutes is still plenty of time to find an equalizing goal, but you've got to always imagine that 1 goal deficit's going to ring in the back of their minds. Can't afford to give up anything else as Ty, good block there from Blah. Haven't said his name too much in this game, but he's been playing pretty well defensively.
Yeah, big opportunity now, but it goes right to Ty. No, missed by both Blah and Ty there. But now the possession firmly in Cindy's hands here, especially Cindy themselves with the ball trying to run up. But Sainez with a breakaway interrupts. The hesitation punished immediately, and Polywalnuts Team A back in the game.
And we couldn't have asked for a better game right here in this semifinal. Of course, the winner of this one moving on to play against Team Noble Koenig, who we just watched in their semifinal. I'm sure they're trying to scout this team out now, or rather both of these teams. They're going to try it again, and it goes in again!
Is this the blue lock meta? Is this it? Is this how you keep a lead?
I honestly can't answer what's happening. I've never seen this. I never would have expected to see this. 3 goals in this game alone, 4 on our stream that have been scored like that. And Paulie Walnuts' team is at serious risk of elimination if they can't figure out the AFK checking as Blah takes a quick shot. And it's got to be Cindy to knock it down. 4 minutes left to go. I mean, I'm speechless. What do you say? How do you analyze that as a commentator? How do you analyze these shots going in? They shouldn't be, but they keep finding their way in. Cindy, oh, he's going to be at the top of the box. Has to avoid the challenge there from Sebas. As it will fall all the way here to Nobert. He's looking for Ty. Not Ross is crossing as well. Looking towards the box. Good rejection there by Sainez. And now with 3.5 minutes left to go, Paulie Walnuts' team needs a goal.
They need a goal right now, but right back to the keeper it goes. Cindy sitting comfortably now, 3 minutes 20 left. If no team scores, they're the ones with the win here, but they're looking to close it out right now.
To not Ross, and there it is. It's Team Cindy. 5-3 final score. Not Ross with the finisher on a beautiful little passing play. We'll watch Not Ross just snipe that far post. And Team Paulie Walnuts, this top-rated team, the #1 team heading into this match, gets knocked out in the semifinals, and there has to be some kind of conversation about those 3 goals that went in. I don't think you can analyze this game without at least talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, quite goofy how those were most of the goals, honestly, right? Those were the majority of the goals, 3 out of 5. Team Cindy off the back of that getting it done, and now they're in the grand finals.
They're in the grand finals, and we'll see. Maybe they'll try that strategy again in the grand finals, see if it works out for them as well as it did in that last one. But ultimately, we do have our grand finalists, Team Cindy up against Team Noble Koenig. And we're going to take a break to get that matchup here on your screens. We'll come back a little bit early, I think, to kind of break down how the final is going to work. It's just a little bit different than this one. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will be back in just a few moments here on Bestie and Slot. Well, we are down to the final two teams here, folks. It's the Egoist Cup here on Bestie and Slot, Hunted and Saya with you. And we started with, what was it? Something like 160 total players all signed up to play in this event. And all the laddering and all of the rivalry stage and everything like that. Eventually, we had 16 teams come into this knockout stage. We've whittled it down to the top two. It's Team Sindri versus Team Noble Koenig, and it is a winner-take-all matchup here as we are set and ready to go. This time, no special rules, no 10-minute matches, no 2-goal leads. It is purely a best-of-3 here, Saya, between these two teams.
Yeah, and I think we finally got an explanation for... Wait a second, forget about explanations as a shot on goal occurs. Shoney not quite able to get it away from 3 defenders there. And Cindy just carrying the ball for now as a very brave dive goes forward. But apparently the first 10 seconds of a match are way laggier than usual, so the success rate of a miracle long shot like that is a lot more likely, but not Ross. No miracles necessary, trying to get past everyone, but Noble Koenig does pick up the ball, and it goes right back into the hands of Wolf.
See what Wolf can do with a little bit of time and space. Here in game number 1, nice play across the way. Looking for the pass across. Seike is going to take care of that, and it will fall into the hands of Sindri, so... well, now Cindy now from the box, play it over to Nobert. 4:51 left to go here in game number 1. As it's going to be a nice little move. Looking for Dot Ross. He's been the goal scorer for this team. Had the big game winner in the last series. 5-3 win over the number 1 seeded team coming into this for Team Cindy. As this is going to be Nobert. Up towards Ty. Is the net open? It was for a moment. Tuck's able to scramble back. Good defense there to reject any kind of bid towards that open net. And ultimately, we will continue to play on. 4:15 left to go here in game 1.
Trying to find a big opportunity here with a passing play. Not many lanes open. And yes, just contested by Seike in the enemy net. The defense from Team Cindy, Team E has been so good so far.
They need to be better here as that one's going to bounce. Nobert will be the first one to get there. And you can see Shoney got to play that back pass, not allowing the keeper to get involved with that play, and probably for a good reason. Cindy has sort of been the pivot point for this team from what we have seen, as that's a good knockdown there by Seike, a little bit behind Ty. Good move to keep it away from the defense. And that'll be sent all the way down. Instead, it's Sir Grizzles picking up possession. 3:22, has 2 players there with him, opts for the shot, goes wide. I think he was looking for a pass to Shoney, but Cindy was up to the task, and now Seike trying to start some offense.
Oh, big chance for not Ross, but Tux manages to grab it. It's been 2 solid goalies so far, and it might just be a 1-goal game. Cindy right to the top edge of the net manages to find the save here.
And now Ty, avoiding the tackle, takes a quick shot off the post. Tux got beaten that time, but saved by the post. And it'll stay a 0-0 game. Looking for the play down to Shoney. It's going to come off the back wall. Cindy will have no problems And you got to imagine Tux thanking the post down at the other end for the moment, but looks like he might need to get set up and ready for another play. Here it is, into the box. Good knockdown there by Sir Grizzles, and he'll maintain possession. Moving for the counterattack. It's a 3-on-2. Wolf opting for the play across. Sir Grizzles is there. The defense comes in clutch. Shoney tries to get a kick away, but it will be Cindy to take care of it. Final 2 minutes approaching quite quickly. Still no score.
Still no score for now. Shoney with an interruption. A big chance here, perhaps, but right into the arms of Cindy once again. It's been a very slow, cautious game for both teams so far. And we're heading down to the final minutes of regulation here.
Seike is going to look for Ty. He just missed it wide. Just pushed it a bit too far. That was a great setup. But now Team Noble Koenig going to come back down the other way. Shoney lurking around the front of the box. He's going to get a header on, but Cindy up to it. That's a beautiful save. Remember that one. Should we go to overtime, or should Team Cindy end up taking this game? Sir Grizzles looking for Shoney. It's going to be Seike back towards Cindy. And you mentioned it earlier that both keepers have been playing very, very well. That save was a big one. Chip up and over. Didn't quite fall in, and Cindy again able to keep that one out.
1 minute left here. Heading into final goal territory. Right past Tux. The ball punched out, but still recovered. And both goalies flawless throughout the entirety of regulation here. We're going to need to see some more offensive possessions come from both teams. This time, Team P looking to find the pass here. Tux forward. Wolf getting the ball for now, but needs to be careful.
He's got Nobert on him. Ends up getting around. Not Ross is looking to come to some aid. Instead, the ball gets sent into a dangerous area, but nobody there to capitalize on it. Seike. Wolf. All the way back down to Cindy. 15 seconds away from overtime here in game number 1, and it certainly looks like the next goal will be the game decider. Seike into the tough spot for the defense, but they managed to take care of business. Shoney again trying to find some purchase on the offensive side of the ball. Still nothing really happening here for Team Noble Koenig, as they did have an opportunity or two, but Cindy has been flawless so far. Here's Not Ross. Over to Ty. It's going to be up and off the back wall. Tux should be able to collect, and he does. And now as we're in overtime here in game number 1, of course, the next goal will win it. But this has been such a back-and-forth close series, and both teams have had some chances.
We've had quite a few chances here. Pass to Shoney, pass Cindy,
wow.
And that will close out the first game here in the favor of Team P. It was a scoreless game until then, but, you know, as soon as the caster speaks, that's what happens.
And it's just a small little bit of room for Shoney to run into and get that lob shot or get the volley on the goal there, and just sneaks past Cindy. So there you go. It's Team Noble Koenig a game away now from being your victors here in this grand final of the EGOIST Cup. And mark down the score totals, by the way, as that does have some significance towards the end. I'm assuming that is still a prize that will be given out. I believe it's an extra bit of prize money goes to the player that has the highest point totals for his team at the end of it, kind of in the spirit of the EGOIST Cup, right? So, but ultimately, I don't think anybody's really thinking about that right now. If your team's Cindy, you've got to try to find a way to break through the defense here.
Yeah, and it's actually even more extreme, even more blue lock-like than that. It's whoever scores the winning goal.
Oh, the winning goal. Okay.
Yeah, it's really just crazy like that. So, if the game starts becoming a blowout in one direction, you might see the goalie getting in on the action there, trying to steal that one away.
Well, we will have to see how things play out. But I think right now, if you are Team Cindy, like I said, I think the defense trying to break through that is going to be a pretty important thing. We saw a couple of good crosses. I think Not Ross just hasn't been able to find the dangerous areas. Again, he's been sort of the goal scorer for his team. We saw him get a header or two on net, but they were typically at range, maybe even outside of the box, I think was one of them. And it's just not enough power really to sneak by Tux. I think he's going to have to try to find himself in a little bit better of a position for one of those header goals, but that's easier said than done with how the defense had been playing. It just seemed like anything that came in and around the box or really just in front of the keeper was being headed away, booted away, or just otherwise stopped by the defense.
Yeah, and we'll see if things can be turned around here by Team Cindy. Maybe they'll make use of a little bit of that long shot like they did in their previous series. We'll have to see, but right now we are about to head into the second game, and the pressure is on if you're Team Cindy.
Yeah, looking forward to see how they get things started. Hopefully, we'll see them come out with a little bit of some fire. I would definitely say getting that first goal is prime directive number one for Team Cindy. I think if you can get the first goal, give yourself a little bit of confidence, know that you can beat that defense and play with a little bit of a lead. We'll see what they can do. Again, it is a best of 3, so Team Noble Koenig 1 game away from being crowned champions. We are just waiting for the lobby to load in here, and we'll get that on your screens in just a moment. And yeah, just another reminder, it is a winner-take-all grand final, so the team that wins this one will win the cash prize, and the series winning goal or the tournament winning goal, whoever scores that does get an additional $20 of the prize pool. So a little bit on the line, and we'll see who that may be. So keep that in the back of your mind as we are set and ready to go here in game number 2.
Loading into game now. Team P, Team Noble Koenig here after their win over Team G, Kai PG Dom, J, etc. And it was a long journey to get here for both these teams, but we'll see who can close it out.
Well, now Not Ross right off the kickoff. Oh wow! Tux with a bit of a smart play. There opts to go for the kick right into Wolf. So they were looking for the AFK check right at the start of the game. Doesn't fall through for them, and now they're gonna have to try and find an answer. What a save from Tux. Not Ross did exactly what I wanted him to do. He found that soft area, and he got the ball into it, or his teammates got the ball into that area. But ultimately, Tux up to the task. Now looking for Shoney, going to go off the back wall, trying to bait out Cindy. Instead, it will be Cindy to win that battle, as Team Cindy in the black and gold, and in the white and gray will be Team Noble Koenig.
Yeah, and going back to that defense on the kickoff shot from Team Cindy, Team Noble Koenig, that was incredibly smart, right? It's a lot easier to hit the bicycle kick on laggy timing, so they mitigate that, but it's a lot harder to defend when the shot is set up perfectly after the rainbow flick. That's Nobert scoring for Team Cindy to start it off.
Yeah, you might as well get some production here from your defense as well. What a nice move around Sir Grizzles there, and that is just a ball absolutely labeled for the top corner. Nobert doing what he needed to do to put his team on the board. And with 4:40 left to go, an opportunity for Team Cindy to send us to a game 3. As Ty looking for more. Avoids the slide tackle for now. Tries to the chip play over to Not Ross. Falls into the far corner where Wolf will play. Slowly works his way upfield. The captain has that taken away by Ty. Shoney will win it back. And now an argument out of the corner, going to be Nobert over to Cindy. And they will reset. 4:10 left to go here in game 2.
A bit of a block there. It was scary for a moment, but Nobert just pushing forward, looking for a passing play, interrupted by Sir Grizzles. And once again, you got to look at the passing plays, look at the passing lanes, and the consistency. right there. Bounce off the top. Shoney going for it, but interrupted by Nobert, who is playing both defense and offense. Back and forth. Another bounce above, and this time Shoney will make it past.
And that's just so hard to defend if you're the keeper. It's just out of reach. You can't really jump up to grab it. And Shoney is right there. You can see the defense maybe a little bit too lax. Nobody back to try to defend that play. And Shoney equalizes the game at 1 here with 3:40 left to go in game number 2. Seike wants to get it back to Cindy. It was a little dangerous there for a moment, but Cindy ultimately takes care of that one and now plays it over to Nobert. Looking for the pass down. It's going to be the captain there, Noble Koenig, able to send it back towards Cindy, as this will be played up towards Nobert. The goal scorer makes a nice couple of moves, maintains possession, chip pass over to Seike. 2 players in the box, looks for Ty. Ty, quick shot, just wide, and Tux will read the bounce off the back wall. And we will cross into the final half of game 2. They'll tied at 1. Team Cindy needs this win to send us to game 3.
Oh, a pass right to Shoney. That could have been an opportunity, but good save by Cindy to keep it away. Now Ty with the breakaway. Pass it back and forth. Not Ross Ty. But the rhythm's interrupted for 1 moment. And now the defenders are approaching, and Tux makes the save. It was so close for Team Cindy, right? They had to play almost all the way there, but right at the end, didn't get the connection.
Just out of reach of Ty, unfortunately. It was a nice little passing play between Ty and Not Ross. They're going to need to try to break this defense one more time, though, as Nobert, again, a nice move. He's had some good moves around these white attackers. As Tuck's going to play it down. Sir Grizzles. Bouncer across. Chip up there by Not Ross. And Sir Grizzles will take control at midfield. Looking for Shoney again in the box. Just beyond his reach. Cindy makes the save. Instantly down to Ty. Ty one-on-one with the keeper. The flick is way beyond Seike. And Noble Koenig will clear. So we are again approaching territory where we may require overtime. It was Shoney in extra minutes in game number 1 to win it for his team, and now Not Ross tries to win it there. Tux makes the big save.
Big save by Tux, and now looking for a big passing opportunity, but everyone is marked, it looks like, as the ball is cleared away as well. Not Ross now with the pass into empty space. Wait a second. Big opportunity for Sir Grizzles. Gets it away, but Ty will keep control, and almost a dangerous spot. Oh, still a dangerous spot, but it goes to the goalie.
Yeah, fortunate there from the defense. A little bit of some signals being crossed as now Nobert going to move up the field. 55 seconds left in game number 2. Off the back wall. Ty just missed it wide. Rebound score. He gets his own rebound, puts Team Cindy up by a goal, and we've got 50 seconds until game 3.
It's crunch time for Team P. Noble Koenig and company need to find something quickly here. And the question is, can they make it happen? Just going for the slow offense, looking to try and keep possession. If the ball ends up in the hands of Team Cindy, that could be the end of it here. And they're advancing quite rapidly right now.
Yeah, Wolf with possession. He's going to play it off the back wall. Shoney right into Cindy. That was a great look for an equalizer, but couldn't get it by the keeper. Got to send it right back into the box. Shoney's going to go up and over. Oh, no! Cindy doesn't grab it. And it's tied. 25 seconds to go. It's Shoney again with the equalizer. And the wheels fall off a bit there for the defense. It looked like Cindy had it, and he just missed grabbing it.
All right, and now we're almost guaranteed to head to overtime here. 20 seconds remaining. The game's still tied. A long shot this time, and they will succeed.
Goodness.
It wasn't even the instant long shot. They delayed it as well, but it works out.
And this just seems to be the bread and butter, I guess, for Team Cindy, as this shot goes all the way down over the top of the keeper. And with a 3-2 score with 20 seconds left to go, Tux is going to play it to Shoney. It goes off the top of the goal. And Cindy going to try to bleed out the rest of the time. 8 seconds left. Nobert now. Oh, has got taken away by Sir Grizzles. Oh, great tackle, though. Able to get back to it. He forces it up and over. And that is going to do it for game number 2. Unbelievable. It looked like overtime was inevitable in that game multiple times. But it's ultimately Team Cindy to tie things up, and we will head to game 3 in a winner-take-all match.
That was very close for a while, but Team Cindy, they saved their weapon for the end there, it looks like. And as game 3 approaches, Hunted, what do you think will be the game definer? Do you think that Team Cindy is going to look to do the same thing on kickoff again, or will they change it up?
Yeah, so part of me, I am open to anything that happens in the game, right? I mean, it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. I hope we don't see an AFK check be the tournament winning goal. That's all I want. I want a real goal, a goal that, a highlight reel goal. Let's say that. Let's call it a highlight reel goal to win the tournament. That's what I would like to see. I don't care who scores it. But ultimately, we're going to get what we're going to get. And we've made it to game 3. I don't think anybody's really surprised to see these teams go the distance after how close this tournament has been. But yeah, I mean, talk about drama at the end. Like I said, it looked like we were destined for overtime multiple times in that game. And ultimately, Team Cindy able to pull it away.
Yeah, we might need a new name for it, though, because the lag makes it not just an AFK check, really.
That's true.
In a perfect world, it would be the AFK check, but it looks like it is a little bit stronger than that.
Well, I only call it the AFK check because that's just what I know. That's just what it's always been called. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I like I said, I hope I don't care what really happens in the game as long as I think the tournament winning goal is not one of those, at least from a caster's perspective. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they respond in this game. How does Team Noble Koenig respond to dropping that game? Do they come out a little bit faster? Obviously, Shoney's been the goal scorer, and I think Team Cindy understands that, and they're trying their best to mitigate that. But hey, if you can keep feeding balls to Shoney in the box, it's going to work out for you.
Yeah, we'll see if that is the case as we head into the final game of this tournament here. Team E, Cindy, Seike, Ty, Not Ross, and Nobert versus Team P, Noble Koenig, Tux, Sir Grizzle, Shoney, and Wolf. Made it all the way here after the tryouts, the rivalry stage, and the knockouts. Quite the brutal tournament, as fitting for the Blue Lock theming. And of course, you don't exactly get to pick your teammates, right? You have to steal some team members that, of course, you're picking the players that you want, but you're not handpicking from the entire pool there. So very adaptable rosters making it all the way here.
Yeah, and I'm glad. Like I said, I love these draft style tournaments or these mixer style tournaments, and it's always awesome to see players playing with different people and everybody trying to find a little bit of that camaraderie, some of that team play as we continue to get further and further in the tournament. And now, there's 6 minutes separating these teams between a first and second place. Whoever walks away with this game will be crowned champions. And I think it's pretty safe to say that this is, Saya, the final match of the final beta tournament for Rematch. Is that not kind of surreal to think about?
That's so weird too, right? Because it's a completely different game when it finally releases. There's always that playtest magic that is just different. It feels a little bit different here, and we'll see. We'll see who ends up at the top of this one. It's been a bit of a journey in this one.
Well, it's just it's just interesting to think about that. Unless something changes, I mean, they could always push back the dates and open up more betas in the future. So maybe hopefully I don't cast or curse the release of the game. That's probably like the one thing I don't want on my resume is that. But assuming that the schedule stays what they've said it's been, Yeah, it's a little surreal to sit here and think of everything that we've done in rematch up to this point. I mean, all the casts, all the tournaments, all the plays and the matches and everything, and we're not even at the full game release, and we're sitting here with one final game to crown a champion of a tournament at the end of the life cycle of this beta. And perhaps the end of the life cycle of all of the betas for this game. So a chance for these teams, or one of these teams, to be crowned champion in the beta. Again, I've kind of said this throughout the weekend that it's sort of like a special title, right? I mean, there's nobody who's going to be able to say that ever again beyond this point, that like we were champions in the beta of the game. And it's just really cool to be able to bring that to your screens as we are now in the game. It's game number 3. Team Novocaine going to be that red and blue. Team Cindy in the white, gray, and gold. And we are underway as Not Ross. Great cut of the pass there. Tuck's going to wander from his keeper position, trying to find Shoney. That almost snuck by Cindy, but Cindy will make the save. So first 25 seconds, a bit chaotic, but still the ball stays out. And we'll see what Team Cindy can do here on the attack. What a move from Not Ross. He'll score. It's the opening goal of Game 3.
Well played on the offense there. They got a clean pass to Not Ross, who instantly capitalizes. And that has been a staple of the entire beta, right? Just a shot to the top side into imagination.
Yeah, I mean, Not Ross, again, has been the goal scorer for his team. And he comes in clutch now to give his team the lead. We'll see if Novocaine can try to find an equalizer. They, of course, have plenty of time. 5:10 left on the clock. That ball is actually a little far for Tux. He's not going to be able to pick it up, so no immediate attack from Team Cindy. Everybody shadowing a man. Sir Grizzles. No, rejected there by Seike, I believe. As now Wolf avoids the slide, but plays the pass off the defender. That's going to fall to Cindy, and now I have a feeling that the possession game is going to be key here for the white and gold.
Not Ross with the breakaway, stolen away by Sir Grizzles, and they do keep it away. They don't let Team Cindy keep the possession up, but it is scary. This could be the final game here, and Team P, they need a goal, and they need a goal very, very quick, but maybe a little bit too rushed here as they send it right into the waiting arms of Cindy.
Yeah, Shoney was there, but he just couldn't quite get a piece of it. Tux is going to wander from the cage and move upfield. Again, the defense looking to shadow as many players as possible, not wanting to give anybody any space other than the keeper back in his own zone. And should there be no other goals scored in this game, remember, it was Not Ross who scored the first one, and right now stands as the tournament winner should the scores hold. $20 goes to the eventual tournament-winning goal scorer, as this is going to be Shoney. Good save from Cindy. They found Shoney in space, and Cindy was able to make the save. We're approaching halftime here. Shoney with an opportunity, looking for Sir Grizzles. Rejected there by Nobert. Shoney off the back wall. Score! Sir Grizzles equalizes the game with 3:28 to go.
And what a precise shot it was, right into the bottom corner, the very corner of the goal there. So difficult to defend and perfectly placed to equalize, but here's the kickoff. Here's the Team Cindy kickoff. Are they going to do it?
Of course they're going to do it. They have 3 players back, all 3 of them up to block it. That's how devastating that strategy has been so far. It required 3 players to turn around and make the save, but it does stay out. And we are 10 seconds away from halftime. Bit of a turnover there, but Not Ross won't be able to corral it. That'll be Tux to pick it up. And now, I mean, if you're Team Cindy, you can't just sit back on defense anymore.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. Ball deflected, though, in the hands of Tux now. And the fact that they managed to counterplay and kind of shut down that weapon mostly is pretty huge here. Oh, Team Cindy with possession now, and they're looking to make a pass and play, keep possession to send it forward.
It's going to be Ty Over to Nobert. Has Not Ross in the box. Over to Ty. Off the back wall. Not Ross swarmed there by a trio of defenders. Noble Koenig, the team captain. Chip pass up to Sir Grizzles. Nobody really in the vicinity. Everybody falling back to play a little bit of defense again. Trying to shadow Shoney. Has been the goal scorer for his team. Has been stifled a bit here in this series, but that could all change with one pass, one shot, one goal. Good defense here from Sir Grizzles, trying to get away from Ty. Seike keeps the play moving on the attack. Chip towards the goal, easily played away by Tux. I think that was more meant to be a pass to Ty that got away from Not Ross there. With a minute 45 left to go, it's a 1-1 game. Bit of a give and go. Not Ross up to the challenge, though.
And the ball drifting right back in the hands of Cindy once more. Sent to the other side of the world, and Ty wide open. Big opportunity here. Sends it around, but Tux manages to grab it.
Looked like almost like a delayed reaction there from Tux, but ultimately he winds up with the ball in his hands. And we've got the final minute 20, 80 seconds left to go here in game number 3. It's still a 1-1 score. Nobert. It's a little awkward there. Nobert takes possession. He will play it back towards Cindy. He is able to play it over to Not Ross. And at this point, you've got to wonder, will the next goal be the final one? Almost there for Ty, but Tux just able to pull that one in. Can Wolf find some possession? It's going to bounce out. Sir Grizzles over to Noble Koenig. Shoney in the box, looking to the play off the back wall. It's going to be Cindy able to deflect it away, and that's a great keep there from Nobert, playing it out of harm's way. Final 35 here in game 3.
Final potential goal here. They got to be careful as they get the cross. Shoney with the shot, and that will be a critical goal for Team P. 25 seconds remaining on the clock, and that could be what seals it.
That could certainly be the tournament winner from Shoney right there. Just sneaks through the keeper. And now all eyes on Team Cindy. Will they go for their bread and butter? It looks like they will. All the players coming back to try to defend. And it's Wolf who pulls it down. Final 15 seconds ticking away. Wolf going to push and try to waste as much time as possible here. Not Ross trying to chase him down. It's into the hands of Nobert, but he plays it right back to Wolf. That's going to be played all the way back. I don't think they have time to get there. Sir Grizzles is going to keep the time away. It's Team Noble Koenig taking down Team Cindy in the finals. A final score of 2-1 in game 3. And a heroic final moments goal from Shoney to win it for his team.
They got it done. They defended against the long shot as well. And, of course, a brilliant goal to cap it all off. This Team P, Noble Koenig's team, they have done it all in their winning run.
Yeah, I mean, coming from where they came from, from the bracket. I mean, obviously they were the 5th seeded team coming in, but they took down the 4th seeded team, and then instantly the 1st seeded team, and then of course, making it into the finals. They ultimately couldn't quite get by Team P and Team Noble Koenig, who had, as you said, a run of a lifetime there through that bracket as well. And we watched them in a fantastic semifinal. It was a 3-2 final score. And, you know, if that goes a little bit differently, maybe the grand final is completely different as well. But ultimately, you know, we can't speculate on what could have been. Instead, it's Team Noble Koenig who walks away with this one, coming in, by the way, as the 15th seeded team. They just barely snuck into that knockout bracket, and they win it all.
Yeah, just barely. And wow, that is a ridiculous journey to make it all the way to the end. But it looks like the beta tournament will end here. So, anything you want to say?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I want to say thank you to everybody behind the scenes involved. Of course, everybody with Bestie and Slot, Achi, putting in all of the hard admin work as usual. Of course, yourself helping out with that, broadcasting everything. And we had Ratman Rob on the spectator throughout our tournament. So shout out to him and what he has done. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody who helped out with the tournament. All of the players who showed up again. I think we had like a total of 160 players all come out to play for this, and everybody watching at home, again, make sure you follow this Bestie and Slot channel. I can't speak for their admin team here, but it seems like they are very passionate about the game, so I would not be surprised if there is more content on this channel when the full game releases. You're not going to want to miss that. But Saya, do you have any final words before we sign off for the evening?
Oh, well, we got quite a few final words, actually. It looks like we're going to have a brief interview, a very, very brief one with the winning team. So they'll be here in a second.
Well, there you go. Are we doing with the entire winning team? I don't know what we're gonna do, but we've got oh, hold on. We've got a whole bunch of people joining all at the same time. So it does look like it is the entire winning team. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Congratulations on the victory. I guess we could start with the captain. How did you feel heading into that final?
Pretty good. I didn't expect it because we started as 3 people, lost 1 on the way, and then made such a great team here. It's pretty cool.
So I think the big topic of conversation has to be for you, Tux, specifically playing keeper. We saw the AFK checking strat that seemed to work quite well for your opponent, and I really loved the 3-man sort of wall you formed on the goal line. Everybody tried to block the shot. It ended up working out for you. I mean, did you just kind of come up with that on the fly, or was that discussed beforehand?
No, we just in between the rounds, basically, we just said, okay, the 2 people that spawn on midfield go back and just kick it out in case keeper gets scammed or fucks up. So we have like backup for that, and it worked out pretty good. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Glad to see that, and of course we've got Shoney and Sir Grizzles as well. You guys were all over the offense. Shoney, obviously the tournament-winning goal. What was going through your mind in that moment?
Fucking scammed the keeper with that shot. I'm sorry for that. Not gonna lie. This game is not ready for competitiveness like right now. There are too many scams, but we do enjoy. It's still the beta. There's hopefully much things coming up in the future. It was fun, and thanks for all the participating teams, and also the hosting was much fun to play. Good format.
I mean, big ups to Achi for all of the hard work again with the planning and everything. Saya, do you have any questions for anybody in particular?
Yeah, actually, I gotta apologize to Tux because with the name ordering on the player roster, we were calling it Noble Koenig's team, not Tux's team.
Oh, that's fair. It's a team effort, so I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming out and playing. I mean, I do want to hear from everybody. If you guys have any shout outs, I know we don't want to keep you all too long. It's just past midnight here on the East Coast, so I know everybody's got stuff to do tomorrow. But I guess we can start with the captain. Do you have any shout outs, and we can kind of go down the list here?
I want to shout out everybody. Shoney had great shots. Everybody had their mans. We had pretty good defense, insane passes. So I just want to shout the whole team. I'll be honest.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. Sir Grizzles, anything from you, buddy?
Honestly, it was just fun to meet these, all my teammates. We clicked as soon as we became a 5-stack. We played one ranked game to warm up, and we were all just amazing. So honestly, defensively, I feel like this is the squad. So I couldn't have been luckier to have a team like this. And for shoutouts, I guess just you Hunted, you casting all these games. I've seen you I was at the Federations tournament. I saw you casting. I watched the whole thing. So thank you for casting all these amazing tournaments.
Oh, it's certainly my pleasure. I appreciate all of you guys and everybody watching. Everybody's been so cool, and a lot of support from everyone has been awesome for the beta. But let's move down the list. I guess I wanted to ask the question. I guess we can just real quick. You kind of mentioned that obviously with the format, everybody kind of came together. That's kind of the whole point. But I guess maybe Shoney and Tux, the two of you have played together, but that is the extent of this team playing together before. Is that what I gather?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. So that's what we wanted. We wanted to see teams kind of form that new, the cohesion. But anyway, Noble, we'll go next to you. Got any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Huge shout out to everyone who hosted this. It was really fun. Shout outs to every team that we went up against. I feel like, I swear, it felt like we were in an anime. Like every team we went up against, they were just, increasing in terms of skill level, and the way that we adapted to that was amazing. Shout outs to the team. And yeah, man, like I said, shout outs to Achi for all this. This was really fun.
Well, certainly can appreciate those comments as well. I think for us it also kind of felt like the anime. I think this format was really cool. I'd love to see it run back again. But Shody, you got any words?
Yeah, big shout out to my bed at 6 a.m. I wanna really sleep.
Wait a second, Hunted. These are Europeans in our North American tournament.
As long as they're playing on NA servers, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and big shout out to the Quidditch Champions community actually that moved over to the rematch. Quite a few people like Cindy, Ross, and a lot more. Macun Controller, for example. Like, we know each other, and it's fun to meet up again in a new game. So hopefully this does not die.
Well, I think we're all right there with you on that. Yeah, big shout outs to I forgot about the Quidditch Champions community, and we were talking about Omega Strikers and Rocket League communities as well. Everybody's sort of coming together, pretty cool for this game. But we can talk about that more certainly at a later time. Wolf, any final words before we send things home?
No, these guys are just being super humble, man. It was a 4v5. They carried the hell out of this. They were going crazy. I mean, Tux with the saves, Shoney with the shots, Grizzle and Noble with the passes. I mean, it was. I didn't have to do anything, honestly. Like I just got to sit there and watch and get free payout, I guess.
Well, hey,
Goat.
Hey, well, that's the beauty of the game, right? I think everybody, I think everybody watching at home will at least disagree with you at least a little bit. It certainly seemed like a team effort from everybody involved. But ultimately, guys, thank you all for joining us here. Again, thank you, Achi. I know you can hear me right now. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but thank you for all that you do, of course. And thank you all for watching this tournament. Make sure you follow the channel. Until next time, guys, enjoy the final hours of the beta. We will see you when the full game launches. I've been Hunted, Saya in the box, Taquito as well, a little bit earlier on. And we will see you very, very soon. Have a good night.